Hello everyone, so today's video is super exciting. We are reading the entire Boys of Tommen series for the first time ever, and you guys get to experience that with me and go through all the highs and lows of this series, and I'm super excited. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into the video because it's a long one. I apologize guys, I'm filming this after I've edited the footage and you're in for about an hour, so apologies for it being really long, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So let's get into it. Hello everyone. Sorry if you can hear trolls in the background. My kid's eating and watching trolls. But I thought I'd vlog this because I'm about to start, well I have started Binding 13. So I'm starting Boys of Tommen for the first time ever. And I thought I would vlog at least this book for now. I do have the physical copy on my TBR cart because it is, I have Vegemite on my face. It is on the TBR for this month. Is that Vegemite? I definitely think that's Vegemite. It's definitely Vegemite. Yeah, so it's on the TBR for this month, but I was not going to be lugging around that, so I paid for it on my Kindle, which I know is naughty because I've technically paid for it twice, but I was not going to lug that thing around, and I very much anticipate that I'm going to really enjoy this book. Like, I'm already relating to the FMC. This book was the prompt, a character with blue eyes, I think, like a character that has blue eyes in the book, I think was the prompt. I'm like only a few pages in. I've literally just started. I'm on page 3, 1% in. Like I said, I've literally just started. Oh my god, 20 hours to read this book. Jesus, I'm starting Binding 13. Like I said, I've already started, but yeah. I just really wanted to read this and see what all the hype's about, but I can already tell like I'm probably gonna like this. I'm already relating to the FMC and just like what she has gone through with like bullying and stuff. I'm really enjoying this. So I just figured I'd vlog my journey reading this. Still in the same spot. I have moved, but I just wanted to do a quick check-in because I'm about to heat up some popcorn and keep reading. I wanted to tell you where I'm at. I'm only up to page 43, 7% of the way through. And this is telling me I have like 40 something minutes in this chapter, which is shocking. I'm reading a bit slow because it's like the start of the book and just I have a lot going on mentally, so it's kind of like hard to like push through sort of thing. But I'm not hating the book, like I am enjoying it. But yeah, I'm just about to heat up some popcorn for myself. Why not? I just saw popcorn on TikTok, so it has to be triple butter popcorn. So I'm gonna heat that up and eat that while I read because I only need one hand for my Kindle. Sorry about the wind that you guys are gonna hear. I just went to go get my nails done because I popped a nail this morning. I'm obsessed. They look so pretty. I love my nail lady. She does the best stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down outside and enjoy some sun and keep reading Binding 13. I am up to page 76, 13% through, which is just crazy to me that it's taking me so long to read it, but it's just because like mentally I have so much going on that my brain is just like struggling to keep up with anything, which is why I'm just letting myself read today. So I've got a hot chocolate and I'm just gonna read. Hello everyone, so it's been a little while since I've checked in, but still reading Binding 13. I have that much left, so I'm probably gonna end up finishing it today. Sorry if you can hear stuff in the background. My child is... Hi. My child is eating next to me and we are watching, he's watching Trolls, but I'm going to read this. I'm probably gonna finish it now, so I'm gonna give myself like an hour to read before I do some housework and stuff. So I think maybe I might finish this by then, I'm not sure, but if I do get to the end, I'm gonna film my reaction because I've definitely seen that this is like very emotional and this has made me cry a couple of times already. I'm not sure that it's a 5-star yet, but we'll see. When I get to the end, maybe. We'll see. Okay, I have 3% left of this book. I've got 8 minutes left in this book, so I'm going to set you guys up and get my reaction because like this book is making me cry so much. I might end up muting part of this and cutting a lot of it out because the child. end there. What the fuck? Okay, so I wasn't planning on giving that book 5 stars, but like, the ending of that book is probably the easiest 5 stars I've ever given a book. Oh my god. I need to gather my thoughts before we chat. Good morning, everyone. I think I checked in yesterday saying that like I hadn't checked in for a couple of days and I started reading Keeping 13. I have a lot of uni work I have to get done today. I had a lot to do yesterday. I actually managed to read quite a lot yesterday though because I was getting my car serviced. So I was sat at Robina Town Centre and just reading there for quite a few hours and went book shopping and did a couple of things while I was there. But I'm about to set a timer on my phone and give myself an hour to read this morning, and then I'm going to get stuck into my uni work because I have some assessments that I need to get done. That's the plan, but I'm going to keep reading Keeping 13. I actually like this more than the first one so far. Anyway, I'm going to read this for an hour and then I'm going to do uni work and yeah. So I just had to come on here because this book, like, I know everyone goes on about Binding 13 and I say Binding 13 get 5 stars, and look, yes, Binding 13 was also a 5-star read for me, but Keeping 13 is just so much better on a different level. Like, I've heard people talk about how, like, it's pointless, they're running back and forth and, like, spinning, but, like, Shannon needed that. Also, let's just, spoiler, if you haven't read the series and you don't want to know, I'm going to talk little details, but not, like, any major spoilers for the story, but, like, Shannon needed to be able to just like go and hang out with her friends and like hanging out at people's places. So I think that that's all really vital to her healing and her story. But this is where like I'll put a timestamp to skip to a certain amount on the time if you don't want to hear any spoilers. But I was just reading chapter 53. I'm still in the middle of it. And Johnny basically steals Shannon's 3 younger brothers because he went to Shannon's house and she wasn't there. And she could see a little boy popping his head up in the window, and he ended up taking them to McDonald's and a playground and just like to get them out, and then he ended up taking them home. And the way the entire family, like Johnny's entire family and Gibbsy, just like try to make their lives better and like trying to give them food and like see how terrified they are of men. It's just like this whole story is so beautiful, and like watching this really well-off family try to heal these kids that are not their responsibility. And yes, Johnny's an idiot for taking them, but like just watching them try, like reading about them try to heal this family that's so broken and it's not their responsibility is so freaking beautiful. And like I already have 5 stars in mind for this, and I'm like 53% of the way through the book. Like I'm 61% of the way through the book. Like, and I'm already, like, this is a 5-star book for me. Like, I have no idea where it's going. Like, I don't know where this is going to end and how it's going to go. And, like, obviously Shannon and Johnny are, like, officially together and whatnot. And you're kind of like, oh, well, what's going to happen with their storyline? But it's everything else. Like, this book is so much more than just a romance book. Like, and more than an emotional romance book. Like, it is, like I said, I've already got a 5-star rating in mind for this book because it's just so... the things that are happening, it's really freaking beautiful. So I just wanted to chime in and say that. So I don't know if I'm going to keep reading or going to go have a nap. I was thinking about going and having a nap, but I'm also super into this, so I might end up just laying in bed and reading for a couple of hours because my child's currently having a nap. So I might just end up going and laying in bed and reading this because I'm really into this book. And I almost bought the physical copy of this yesterday while it was out, and I didn't, and I'm regretting doing that because I really love this book. So I'm probably going to end up buying that later this week or maybe today because I've got to run up and go get some milk and stuff from Woolies. So I might go up to the big Westfields and get milk and go buy Keeping 13 because it's really good. It's really good. Okay, so spoiler. So skip ahead to the time on the screen if you don't. So something happened at school with Shannon and Bella, and she called Joey, and Joey came with Aoife. Aoife is obviously Joey's girlfriend, and they figured out, like, obviously they figured out who did it and whatnot. And Johnny goes out to like smash Cormac because he was like, I'm telling you now, like in the last book, he was like, if your girlfriend doesn't stay away from Shannon, I'm gonna come after you because I can't hit a girl. And so he went going out there to do that, and Cormac hit the floor before Johnny even got there because Joey did it, and Joey was like, I owed you one. And so he did that, and then Bella was going off being like, you scumbag, got off my boyfriend, blah blah blah. And Aoife looked at Shannon and was like, is this the girl? And so she ended up smashing Bella, which is just the best thing to see because Aoife has been very well put together. And so she goes, is this her, Shannon? She demanded, did she do this to you? And Shannon goes, please just leave it. And Bella goes, who the hell are you? And Aoife goes, oh, I'm your worst nightmare, bitch. Taking her to the ground in one fell swoop, Aoife straddled Bella. You like terrorizing little girls? She demanded, straddling Bella. Try someone your own size. It's just like, this is what I mean about this book, just watching everyone in this group. And that's why I'm so excited to continue the series, because it's such a found family trope. Like, it's so heavy in all the book, like in both the books so far, like the friendships in it. Like, I've never read a book where the friends have each other's backs so fiercely. And even like Joey with Johnny, like they're not super close. Like they only know each other because of Shannon, and Joey really didn't like Johnny at the start, and like that whole scene started with Joey coming in and punching the shit out of Johnny. Like, so just watching the like found family in this is awesome, and watching everyone rally around Shannon and protect her and defend her has been awesome to see. And that's why this book already sits at a 5 stars for me, like 100%. Like, this is not, I don't care what happens in this book, it's 5-star, and I'm almost 70% of the way through. So like, this just, I'm so excited to continue reading this series as well. Like, I know Saving and Redeeming 6 runs in the same timeline as this as well, but I'm still excited for that because I want to know what's happening to Joey during all this. So I think this is going to turn into a really long reading vlog, because I think I'm going to vlog me reading all of them. So I don't know if you guys could see, but I have full-on tears. I was really struggling to read that chapter because exactly what I want to happen is happening in this book right now, and I'm so happy about it, because these kids just deserve so much more. And like, what's happening is like, they're going to be able to have that life. And I really, really hope that it does go to, like, surely it's got to go down that path. I thought that that's what they were talking about. Yeah, I'm 71% of the way through. So like, surely that's how this book's going to go down. And I really fucking hope so, because these kids deserve so much better than what they've got. And yeah, I really, really hope that it actually works out that way. And I think it will, by the looks of it. But oh my God, like, I'm supposed to do stuff today. I'm finishing this book because it is so fucking beautiful, and it is so nice to see so many people rally around this family. And not just the family, like the kids specifically. Like, I don't give a shit about her parents, because her parents can both just go and fucking sit in a hole. But like, watching other people rally around these children who need help and deserve a better life for themselves, it's just really beautiful to see, and it makes me really happy. And I can't, my brain struggles to tell the difference between fiction and reality, okay? And I'm struggling because this is so, like, I've had experience with the stuff that's happening in this book, not to this extent and not personally, like, directly to me. Like, my parents are great. I grew up just fine, but I knew other people who were going through situations like this, and I was that person that tried to help them through that. And it's just really beautiful, and like, it's really easy to relate to, because I've been through some of this stuff before, even though it might not be directed at me and I wasn't the one being abused and neglected by my family. I experienced it firsthand, watching someone that I really cared about and their siblings getting abused and neglected by their family, and them being the person in the family like Joey is, and trying to hold everything together, and then seeing someone come in and be like, no, like, we're gonna help, we're actually gonna do something, we're gonna help. And it's just really beautiful to see, and it makes me super happy. And I think that's why this book, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together until reading that. I think that's why this duet specifically, I know I haven't read the rest, but this duet specifically is hitting home so hard for me, because I can relate to it so much. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm probably just gonna end up finishing this today, because I just really want to know how it ends. This tell you I'm a fucking Does this tell you how intense this book is, and how fucking beautiful it is and sad it is? I'm literally bawling my eyes out. Look at my face. My entire face. Like, I have snot coming out of my nose, for fuck's sake, this damn book, and I've still got like 17% of it left. Fuck's sake, it's literally dripping down my neck. My tears. Fucking Jesus. The fuck is blue on my forehead? Good morning, everyone. Please excuse the pimples on my face. My skin is having a freak out. But it has been a couple of weeks since I've read anything from the Boys of Tommen series, and last night I started Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh, and I'm super excited to continue on. I have read maybe like a quarter, and this book is so sweet. I love that. Like, I don't understand why everyone says that like this book is horrible, because like it doesn't pick up where like it left off, but like I feel like we need to know the backstory. Like, we're getting Joey and Eva's backstory, and I feel like we need that. And like, it's not dragging on, like we're time skipping, so it's like, you know, you've got first year, second year, third year, like we're going through it like that, and they're dated, and like you don't spend too long in each year, so Like, and it's interesting to find out like how they got together, because how they seem in Binding and Keeping 13, they did not start out like that. So I think that this book is actually super important. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Super excited to continue on with the series. I'll probably end up reading Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 back to back like I did with, Binding and Keeping 13. This is on the TBR for September, so we're also reading one that's on the TBR. Then I'll probably steer off the TBR. But yeah, I'm just having my morning coffee. I'm probably not going to get a whole bunch of reading done today because I am going to Movie World for my birthday, because it was my birthday on Friday. So anyway, I'm going to read for a bit this morning and then probably clean my house. So I'm probably not going to get too much done of this. I'm probably going to end up listening to The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. Hello everyone, sorry about the background noise. I'll try to fix it in post. I am just trying to conquer my ADHD today. I'm using the tools and tips and tricks that my therapist gave me to actually like get stuff done today, because technically is the first day back at uni because it's O week, it's orientation week. But I wanted to just quickly update you guys on Saving 6. Now I'm going to put you in a really awkward spot and I'm going to be bent over. But Saving 6. So I have literally like under 100 pages left. Like maybe, yeah, no, I have under 100 pages left of this. I will be finishing it later today. But I do have another video that I want to start filming today as well, which is swapping my screen time. We'll like start it. Today is swapping my screen time for reading. So I'm going to start that later, because I did have a look into how much screen time I did last week on Monday, and it was like an hour and a half or something. So I can do that later this afternoon. I don't want to read this in that. Well, I can do, but I don't really want to. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end up finishing this later, but I do need to film my August reading wrap up. I need to do that today as well. And at the moment I'm just currently cleaning, but I'm also currently heating up some mashed potato and gravy for myself because I am absolutely starving. But I have set timers and alarms for myself for these things. So I'm about to just eat and then keep cleaning. I want to try and at least clean my kitchen. I did want to do the floors, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time. So we'll see. I might be able to vacuum, but not be able to mop, which is totally fine. But yeah, sorry if you can hear the background noise. I currently have the TV on so I can do stuff. Anyway, if you have ADHD, you understand. So I'm going to quickly eat. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update on Saving 6 because it is such a beautiful story, and like just the amount of love that Aoife has for Joey, even though like the situation he's in, it's just such a beautiful story, and I'm really glad that we got to see like their backstory. Do I think it's going to be a 5-star book? No. But do I think that it's going to be like a solid like 4.5, 4.75 star? Yes, because it's just something that we needed to know. So anyway, I'm going to go eat and keep cleaning, and I will come back and check in with you guys when I'm reading the last little bits of Saving 6. So I have filmed my reading wrap up. I'm about to order myself some food and sit here and just quickly finish this book before I edit, because I have literally under 100 pages left. I have like maybe 80 pages left or something, I think I figured out before. But yeah, I'm just going to order myself something to eat because I'm starving and I haven't gone to do groceries yet, and I just really can't be bothered to cook anything. So I've spent far too long in my kitchen already today. So I'm just going to order myself something to eat really quick, maybe like a kebab or something. Oh, I could go for a kebab. Yeah, I'm going to order that, finish reading this, and then I'm so excited to continue on with this series too, mind you. Like, I love this. Like I said, this book isn't quite like a 5-star, but it'll be like a 4.5 to a 4.75 star. Actually, the scene that I'm currently reading, or that I've just read through, was really, 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 really sweet. So I take back what I said about this not being oh god, I'm bleeding. I'm so sorry. I was picking at my face and I really shouldn't be. I take back what I said about this not being a 5-star read. I actually think I'm gonna rate it a 5-star, because earlier in this video you would see that like I was talking about that I can relate to these books really, really strongly, especially Shannon and Joey's. Like, I was in a situation where people I loved and care about grew up like that. So reading from Johnny and Aoife's perspective, and you know how much they wanted to help the people that they loved and care about, I can relate to on such a high level. Yes, the situation for the people that I cared about wasn't that bad, but it was very similar to what happens in those books, in both of those books. So, and also like this is very heavy on addiction and like struggling with my own addiction before in the past. Like, it obviously is really easy to relate to something when you've had that experience, and it makes a book so much more emotionally hitting. So for me, like Binding and Keeping 13 and Saving 6 so far, like I can just absolutely relate to those. I really want to continue on with this series because I feel like reading the duets back to back just hits you really hard. So I think I'm going to pick up Redeeming Six rather than anything off my TBR for the month. I think I'm going to start with Redeeming Six because I just really, really want to know what happens. I know that Redeeming Six is probably going to run on the same timeline as Binding and Keeping 13, which I'm totally okay for. I would love it to really run along the same timeline as Keeping 13. This ended when Shannon was starting at Tommen. So I think that Redeeming Six is going to be like at the same time as Binding and Keeping 13. So yeah, I think that I'm going to, which that is a huge book. Considering this is like they're smaller because they're not like the thick versions. That is a huge book. Like if I compare this to Saving Six, hang on. Although I love the cover of Redeeming Six, but like look at the difference. That's huge. That's such a big book. But I think I'm gonna start with that one, and I am going to do I'm gonna do this one in like my swapping screen time. So yeah, I think we're gonna start Redeeming Six. I am super excited to read this. Just something that I want to really quickly mention. I'm like 6 chapters into this book, like 30 pages in. I've been reading for about half an hour. I really love that we are getting to see like an insight into other people more in this. I feel like because we've just had like a scene with like Lizzie and like another scene with Gibbsy and Huey and all that, and like getting a little glimpse into them and seeing that is really cool. And like yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm really liking this book, and I'm only 33 pages in. So it's really nice to be getting more of an insight into other people, even though like Joey doesn't go to their school or anything. Like it's really, really interesting. So I'm really enjoying this book so far. Good morning. We are still reading Redeeming Six. I think I got like 20 something chapters in, 36 chapters in last night, and I'm super excited to continue it. So I'm loving this book at the moment. It's definitely moving very fast paced at the moment because obviously this is running at the same time as like Binding and Keeping 13. So we're like moving through it pretty quickly. So yeah. Hello everyone. So great news. We have officially finished the second duet in this series. So we finished Saving Six 2 days ago, and I just finished Redeeming Six. And I really loved this story. This one isn't a 5-star read for me just because there were certain, I don't know how to explain it. It's not so much that it dragged on. I did say to Book Bessie that I felt like this was dragging on a little bit, but I also fully understand why, because addiction is it's not linear. There's a lot of like relapses and slipping back and all that sort of stuff. So I totally understand why it dragged on, but it definitely made it a little bit harder to read, which is fine. Like I still enjoyed it. It's probably going to get like a 4.5, 4.75 star. Saving Six is probably about the same as well. That's probably a 4.75 star. And I'm going to give it like a 3 chili spice. Like it was pretty spicy. Definitely not YA, especially this particular duet. There's such heavy topics and there's explicit sex scenes that are described. So this is not young adult fiction. Again, talking to Book Bestie, who is also studying to be a teacher, and I was studying to be a teacher and studying to be an English teacher specifically. We obviously had to know about like books that we were going to give to our students for reading and all that sort of stuff. So in keeping that in mind, like thinking about what I would give to like, 14, 15-year-olds, where young adult is supposed to be, like where that's the age bracket that young adult is supposed to be sort of like put to, like from like 14, 15 up to like 18. This is not a series that I would recommend for anyone that young. However, Book Bestie and I were talking about that, like, these books do talk about some really heavy topics. And I do think for certain, like maybe 17 and 18-year-olds that they would be good. And like a very, very minute of 16-year-olds, like group of 16-year-olds, I think they would be appropriate for. However, they would be people that would like have some form of experience in these topics. So Book Bestie and I were talking about the fact that like, I've been through some really hard stuff before in my life, and the things that I have dealt with and experienced and making some silly choices when I was young, that for me, these books probably would have been okay for me to read at 16, and it would have probably been like a little bit of a wake-up call for myself. I definitely don't think these books are classed in YA. They shouldn't be classed in YA, even though they say it on the back. They shouldn't be. But all in all, I'm really loving the series. I really want to continue on with the series, but I need a break from it at the moment. So I am going to switch into a fantasy. If you haven't seen it already, I will link it down below because that video will be out before this one, 100%. I'm filming a swapping my screen time for reading. So Monday to Friday, whatever time I spent on my phone last week on those days, I have swapped it for reading time instead. So I'm starting a different book. I did this last time. I read the duet back to back. Like I've read Binding and Keeping 13 back to back, and then I've had to take a break from it. I don't think I'll have as big of a break between it. We will see. I know Taming 7 is not nearly as big as the rest of the books, but I know Releasing 10 is massive. But I'm really excited to get to Releasing 10. That's a book that I'm really excited to get to, just because, although I suppose a lot of these books really do resonate with me, I don't want to go into too much detail. However, there is elements from the first two books that really resonate with me, specifically regarding Johnny and his family and like what they want and what they do. And then in Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, the addiction side of it really resonates with me because I have struggled with addiction before. So for me, I've really resonated with the 4 books so far. Yeah, like I've really, really resonated with the first 4 books. And from what I've heard of Releasing 10, I will probably resonate with that as well, because I have heard that essay happens in that book quite a lot, which is probably going to be really difficult for me to read because I have experienced that myself. So I just really think that these books talk about some very important topics, but I don't think that they are appropriate for young adults to be reading. Like I'm 25 and there's certain scenes that have come up in these books where I'm like, oh, like that's hard. Yeah, and like I don't get triggered very easily. Like Hunting Adeline is the only one that I had to put the book down to have a break in the middle of. Yeah, Hunting Adeline was the only one I had to put it down for a day and then come back to it, just because there was a very specific scene that hit a little bit too close to home in Hunting Adeline. Sorry. I am really looking forward to reading the next 2. I'm scared to read Taming 7 because I've heard so many people say that it's like really bad, and I do hope that we get more of Claire and Gibbs's story, because I know that that's what Taming 7 is, and I really do hope that, like, you know, they get another book. And same with Releasing 10, like I know that that's got to do with Lizzie and Huey, and I really hope that we get to see that as well, because it was definitely, you could see a lot more of the pairings be set up in this book as well, like specifically with Lizzie and Huey. And also like I have a feeling that like maybe Patrick Feely and Casey, who is one of Aoife's best friends, will like have something in this. So yeah, like I'm excited for the rest of the series. I'm excited for like the rest of the books she puts out. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to take a break from this series, probably read a couple of books and then go back to Boys of Tommen, just because they are so heavy and they are such big books, and I just need to break it up sometimes. I'm also a really big mood reader as well. So hello everyone, excuse the state of my hair. I need to go fix it, but I really can't be fucked. We are starting Taming 7. I have been in a huge reading slump for a week, and I feel like this is the only thing that's going to get me out of it. So I'm going to start Taming 7, and I'm excited to like be one more book down in this series. Like once I finish this, I'll only have one more book to read, and then I can put this video up, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I know that this is Claire and Gibbs's story. I've read the first 4. This is book 5, and I'm so excited to read this story. I am sad that it's as short as it is, but I'm going to start Taming 7, and I'm super excited. I've got my glasses next to me. I've got my annotation tabs. So yeah, let's get into it. Excuse how I'm looking. I literally just got home from dance, so I am a little bit of a hot mess right now. I'm just about to make myself a hot Milo and like kind of get ready for bed. Oh my god, the lighting in here is awful. I wanted to give you guys a quick update before, hang on, let me go back out here so the lighting's better. Also, sorry if you can hear the kettle. I'll try and fix it in post, but if you can hear the kettle, sorry. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update now, because I'm literally going to read for a bit and then I'm going to bed. So I wanted to update you guys. I didn't read too much today. I think I read like 56 pages. Yeah, I'm up to chapter 5. So we read that much. This is like I have all the US versions of this book, so they're not quite as thick as the like UK and Oz versions, and I much prefer the cover of the US versions as well. Yeah, I'm essentially just gonna read for a bit. I'm just about to watch back my videos from dance tonight just to see which one's better, which one to post, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna read, have this Milo, and then go to bed and pass out. First, I should actually update you on what I think of the book. Tell me why I was sobbing in the first like 2 chapters of this book, like 3 chapters. Like, why was it so sad? I know that this book's probably probably going to hit really hard. And I'm really hoping that I was having a little look around to see like how many books there's going to be in the Boys of Tommen series and if Claire and Gibbsy do get a second book, and it looks like they will. So I really hope that that's the case, that like all the couples get at least 2 books, and it looks like Johnny and Shannon are going to get another book as well. So that seems really interesting. It looks like there's going to be another number as well, like another character. I wonder if it's going to be Feely that we're going to like follow. So I'm super, super excited for the rest of the series and like as they continue to come out and everything as well. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this book, like 56 pages in, like, and I read that in like under an hour, I want to say, this morning. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to read for a bit and then go to bed. So I just realized I haven't checked in with you guys for like quite a few days. I am still reading Taming 7. I'm up to page 94. Loving this book so far. I didn't read a lot over the weekend, so yeah, and like this is the first time I'm reading today. I am back at uni full swing doing 4 units, so I don't have a lot of time to read at the moment. I am also currently filming like how many pages I realistically can read in a week, or how many pages I realistically read in a week, because yeah, I'm at uni, so I feel like it's a very like fitting time to do it considering I'm at uni. So essentially at the moment I am just sitting outside for a little bit and I'm going to read for an hour or 2. I'm going to set a timer on my phone for an hour or 2 and I'm going to allow myself to read for an hour or 2. It's currently 12 o'clock, so if I read until like 1:30, 2 o'clock, I then have like 2 hours to edit this afternoon, and then my child will be back and then I'll probably edit again or read again. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and read. I'll check back in later. Hello everyone. Don't let my position fool you. I have been inside. I have not been out in the sun all this time. It is 1:30, so I've been reading for about an hour and a half. Not really consistently though, like I've gotten up and done a couple of little things here and there. I just wanted to come on here and say something, but we're talking about like, so if you guys have read like Binding and Keeping 13, you know that Claire and Gibbsy's cats had like kittens, and just the way like Claire and Gibbsy talk about the cats being their kids and like they've adopted this hedgehog and all this stuff, it's just so funny, and like their relationship is so funny, and I'm really glad that it's coming across on paper the way that I hoped it would, because Gibbsy is so funny in the other books, and just being able to like get an entire book of that humor is really, really great, and it's coming across on the paper really nicely. So I just wanted to chime in with that. I'm gonna read for another half an hour and then I've got to do stuff. So hello everyone. So I am almost finished. I've got under 100 pages left of Taming 7 and I am loving this book. There was, I can't remember what chapter it was. I will tell you what chapter it was so that if you guys have read this, you'll understand. Okay, so it's chapter 64 and 65. I was laughing so hard I was crying, especially just the way that like, it was just so funny. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give spoilers, but if you've read the book, you'll know chapter 64 and chapter 65. It was so funny. I'm really, really loving this book. I am starting to see like a lot of, you know, I understand why people hate Lizzie so much. I also really dislike her at the moment. However, I can understand the pain she's feeling. Not to her extent because I haven't gone through that, but like I can definitely understand the pain she's feeling, but I don't condone the way she's going about handling said pain. So I am very curious to read the next book and see like from Lizzie's point of view, and like seeing like Lizzie and Hugh little bits in this. Like it's very sweet, but it's also very sad because obviously like Hugh is in a relationship with Katie, and like I'm very interested to see how that pans out and how much overlap of this book there is with releasing 10. Surely there's got to be some. Something that is really sad about this book though is we're having quite a lot of time skips, and like I understand why because it's such a small book, and I know that this was the first book she wrote while she was traditionally pubbed, or like yeah, it was the first book she wrote once she got trad pubbed for this series, and it is a bit sad because I feel like there could have been more to Claire and Gibbsy's story, even though I feel like it's being delivered quite succinctly and quite beautifully. I feel like also no, because I was going to compare it to like Finding and Keeping 13 and like Saving and Redeeming 6, but I think their problems were, there was not bigger, I don't want to say their problems were bigger because the problems that Gibbsy is dealing with in this is quite big and quite heavy, but I just feel like they were dealing with more problems, not just like one or two things, whereas like I feel like Shannon and Joey were dealing with a whole array of things. Also something like we've not had a resolution for both, we've not had a resolution yet. Like I said, we've got 100 pages left, or under 100 pages left. I'm up to page 372 and there's 400 and something, 450-ish pages. I think it's 445 pages, 448 pages or something. I feel like there's not been much of a resolution to Gibbsy's problems in this, because Gibbsy is dealing with two very significant problems, and unless they come out in this last like 80 pages or so, I just don't know how to explain it. It almost feels like they're kind of getting off a bit scot-free, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try and finish this before my child gets home, which is in about an hour. So I might be able to, might not. But yeah, I'm going to finish this book today. And then I'm probably going to read Releasing 10 next week once I finish, because after this, I'm going to read Quicksilver for my other video, which is like how many pages I realistically can read in a week. I can't believe we've got one book left to finish in this series. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go finish this book and I will check back in with you later. Might end up catching my reaction to the end of this on camera. We'll see. Okay, so Boys of Tommen vlog. We finished Taming 7. Look, it wasn't my favorite book in the series. My favorite book in the series is definitely Keeping 13. Definitely my favorite in the series. However, I did really enjoy this story. I really enjoyed watching Claire and Gibbsy's relationship flourish. Something that did annoy me about it is, I suppose that the miscommunication trope is all the way through this book, so like it's not the biggest deal. However, we have had like very different communication in the other books, considering they're all like 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So I think I was a little bit shocked at how bad the communication was between these two, and considering they had been friends pretty much their whole lives. So I think that's probably something that I struggled with in that book a little bit more than what I was expecting to, or like it compared to the other books. But I did still really enjoy it. I am super keen to read Releasing 10. However, I'm filming another video at the moment. Like I said, I actually still did really enjoy that book. Sorry about the noise in the background. Child is running around. Like I said, I'm about to cook dinner. I just got to tidy the kitchen a little bit and then get dinner on. Really enjoyed that. Super excited for like Lizzie's. I've heard like Releasing 10 is a bit of a redemption arc for Lizzie, so I am really excited for that. However, after finding out why, like what was going on, I don't understand why people hate Lizzie quite as much as they do, because she didn't know the truth. So like I don't understand it, but I also do understand it. I do understand why she felt that way toward Gibbsy, because in her mind it would be really hard to separate the two. But I feel like what came out is the reason why people are like, oh, I hate her for what she did to him. But she didn't know the truth, if that makes sense. And like the ending of that book didn't really show her doing anything negative towards Gibbsy until like after the big thing came out. So yeah, I get it, but I also don't get it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't get the massive hate towards her. And from what I can see, like, she's dealing with some pretty major demons, more than just, like, her sister's death. So I'm really excited to read the next book. I'm going to be reading that next week because I'm super excited to get this ticked off. So like this series ticked off. Okay, everyone, this is the first time in this video you guys are going to see me filming on my new camera, which is why there's an awkward angle. We are going to, hang on. It has been a couple of weeks since I've sat down to read this series, but I really want to get this done because I plan to have this video up in like 2 weeks from today, because I will show you guys. I have decided that I want to do 12 days of Bookmas this year. So I kind of sat down and planned out all of my videos, all of my video ideas, what days are going up, what they are, blah blah blah, and what days I'm going to film them, because I wanted to do 12 days of Bookmas, and like that's like 12 days of videos every day. So I really wanted to get everything organized. So I'm going to show you my Notion app on my iPad. I use it between my computers and my iPad and my phone all the time. I literally have, so this is Mondays and this is Fridays. So you can see I've got videos. It's currently the 31st of October. If you guys haven't seen it already, I'm literally uploading it as we speak. It's like 3:20 on the 31st of October and I'm just getting my video up. I just really struggled to edit last night. I will probably make a little bit of a video later on explaining it more in depth, but I have mentioned a couple of times on here that I'm struggling with a POTS diagnosis, like trying to get diagnosed for it. I know that sounds really silly, like trying to get diagnosed or something, but I have so many of the indicators that it is POTS, but when they did a test on me, it came back with an ectopic heartbeat. So I might talk about it in another video when it's not going to be as long as this one, and give you guys like a little bit more in depth as to what's going on with that. But I've been really struggling with fatigue and stuff like that. Like even today I had a 2-hour nap. So as you can see, I have a very, very full schedule for the next 2 months, and I want to get this video up in literally 2 Fridays from now. So on the 14th of November is when I want to get this video up. And we have read all of the Boys of Tommen books except for Releasing 10, and I haven't been in a reading slump because I did really enjoy last week's worth of reading, which is the video that's going up today. I loved reading all the spooky books, but because I've just had so much on I haven't read, and I'm like, I was going to try and tackle the rest of the TBR because we've done really good at sticking to the TBR this month as well. We've read some extra books, but read a lot of stuff off the TBR, which I'm really happy about. I really, really, really want to get this series done, and I don't feel like reading anything else except for this or Diabound, and I'm like, I need to get this video done, edited, and up. So we're going to start this today. I'm going to get some tabs because you guys know how I've been annotating this, because it would be really nice to go back and look at this again. So I'm just going to get some tabs. I'm just waiting for this video to finish uploading. It's on 84% and then it's going to process. So it should be up within the next like half an hour or so. I am also child free. It's my weekend off this weekend, and I've now got like all of Friday because he's at daycare, and then he goes to his dad's Friday afternoon, and I don't pick him up until Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, sorry. So I actually have like a fair amount of time to read this weekend, and I was like, you know what, if I can smash out a good chunk of this book tonight, I would be really happy with that, because I have the house to myself tomorrow as well. So that means I can sit down and film, because you guys know I don't like filming when people are home. So I have really been loving this series, as you guys have seen throughout this video. I'm really loving this series, and I'm super excited to get to Lizzie and Huey's story. So I'm going to sit here at my desk for the time being and read this. Also, I want to tell you guys, even though actually I will still be doing the lives by that point, I won't be finished the book by that time. I also wanted to tell you guys, I have started reading on TikTok live streams again. This is something that I used to do last year. I think I read 2 or 3 books, and I like doing it for books that I find intimidate me or I've struggled to get through or anything like that. So we're currently reading When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker on TikTok Live. I am up to chapter 3. This is also Book Besties and I's buddy read. But if you want to see what I read on TikTok Live, head over to my TikTok where I've been doing it every day. So I think I might go sit on the couch for a little bit and read. I'm gonna be leaving my camera here because it needs to charge. It's currently sitting on charge at the moment, which I'm surprised that it still charges while recording, which is awesome to know. But yeah, I'm gonna go sit on the couch. I have to go pick up the child at about 4:35ish to get him to his dad's for 5:30. So that's the plan. I'm gonna sit down and read pretty much until then, and then I'm going to drop him off. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna read again. Again, apologies for the really awful angle. This is still on charge. It is just after 4:30. I have been reading. I am up to page 58. I'm on chapter, doesn't even say. It's part 2. It says Bullies, Birthday Invitations, and Big Brothers. It's Lizzie's chapter, October 28th, 1994. Doesn't say what actual chapter it is. I don't think any of them have chapter numbers, they just have names. But this is the first book that I have noticed on the back it says new adult fiction, and I'm glad, because already the topics in this are super heavy, and I'm glad that I waited until I was in like a good spot to read this and really wanted to read this, because like I said, the topics in this are really heavy. I think that anyone should read trigger warnings going into books that you know have difficult topics, but this one 100%, this one is like hunting Adeline in terms of the topics that are talked about in it. Not all of them, but like some of them that are mentioned in Hunting Adeline are mentioned in this, but it's worse because they're younger. This entire book we are getting part of Lizzie and Huey's backstory. So obviously like they're not together, because I think Lizzie is 6 and Hugh is 7 at the moment. It starts with her being like 3 and 4, and yeah, like it's really sad what's being alluded to. You don't know 100% yet at where I'm up to, but what's being alluded to, it's really, really sad, and kind of makes sense as to why Lizzie is the way she is. I'm also trying to figure out if she is bipolar or schizophrenic or what, but there is also like, that's what I mean, as in terms of like there's things being alluded, like things are being alluded to certain scenarios, and I'm not sure if it's just trauma or if it is like an actual mental illness that's come up, which I do love to see in books. I love to see these really hard topics being spoken about. I love seeing like mental illness representation as someone who has suffered with a lot of mental illness and been diagnosed incorrectly for mental illness when I was 17, because it was just easier to diagnose women with that problem. For example, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which I do not have. now being older and seeing other therapists, they're like, no, you don't have that. And it's often something that is just, they just diagnose younger women and women with it when they don't know what you have. So I really do like to see some diverse representation in terms of mental illness and mental disabilities and all that sort of stuff. So it is nice to read. It's hard to read about that, but it's nice to see that it's being portrayed in books. But I'm really loving this so far. I'm super excited to come home and continue with it. I'm just going to, it's like 4:30. I need to go get him from daycare and then load him into the car and get him down. And I'm probably going to go now anyway, even though I'll be there a little bit early, just because it looks like it's going to rain again. We've been having the weirdest weather up here in Queensland too. Like, if you're a Queenslander, you'll know that like we definitely have some really random weather on like a day-to-day basis throughout the week. So like this week, I think Monday there was bushfires happening literally within a few kilometers of my house. Then Tuesday it bucketed down with rain all day, and then Wednesday it was almost 40 degrees. I think it was 39-degree day. And then Thursday we had a little bit of rain, and now it's Friday and we're having rain again. It's just, actually no, I don't think, we didn't have any rain yesterday, and now it's Friday and it's been like overcast and kind of awful all day. It's just absolutely bucketed down with rain. So it's very odd. So I'm going to feed the doggos, go pick up the child, drop him off, come home. I'll probably be back between like 6 and 6:30, just depending on how bad traffic is getting back up here, because it can be really difficult. The traffic on the M1 is absolutely shocking, and I've got to head south towards, I'm not going into Surfers, but I've got to head south towards Surfers and then come back this way. And that's some of the worst traffic. That's why it's going to take me half an hour when it should take me usually between like 12 and 17 minutes, even with traffic. It's going to take me 28 minutes. So I'm going to go do that, and then I'll come back and I will read this. Good morning, everyone. I did keep reading Releasing 10 last night, even after dropping the child off and like getting home. I didn't read a lot, but I did read. I think I'm up to page like 100 and something. I've just made myself an iced coffee. Decaf, because I'm not allowed caffeine anymore, which really sucks. I have been up since like 4 a.m. I have not been reading though, and I'm not going to read just yet because I really want to edit my November TBR video, so that's ready to go for Monday. And then I also want to film my October reading wrap up, but I need to fill out my reading journal to do that. So my plan is to edit, do my reading journal, film, and then read. And then I think I'm going out tonight, maybe, as long as the weather holds up. We're supposed to be in for like really bad storms later tonight, but the weather's really nice today, but things can change very quickly in Queensland. So I'm gonna have this decaf wake up a little bit because I've been up since 4 a.m. I've just not been able to go back to sleep. I'm gonna end up having a nap today, which is fine by me. I don't care about that. And yeah, I'm supposed to be going to this like fearophobia scream park near my house tonight, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go wake up and I'll come back when we start reading. I didn't realize that that was so bumpy, but anywho. Hello everyone. Sorry for the really awful lighting. It is very late at night. Not very late at night. It's like 7:30. That was a bit dramatic. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's been a while since I've checked in. I have not read anything more of this. I'm up to like, I'm 111 pages in or something. I've just had a really hectic week filming, and last week I had gastro. This week I'm sick, and once I got better from the gastro, so like literally the day I got gastro, I was filming heaps. You guys would have seen those videos by now, but it was like my book haul, my like organizing my new bookshelves and redoing my bookshelves video. So you guys would have seen them by now. Yeah, so I literally filmed all that, and then that night I came down with gastro. My kid had had it over the weekend with his dad, and I thought that I'd missed the germination period, but I hadn't. I ended up getting it from him, and it was probably one of the worst bouts of gastro I've ever had. So I didn't read anything last week, and then once I started to feel a lot better, I was trying to like, you know, get on top of like the editing that I needed to do, because I had a video that needed to go up on Friday, and then I had a video that needed to go up on Monday, which was today. So I like hadn't had time to read, and I literally was just saying to Book Bestie, like, I don't know what to do. I really would love to edit because I have Bookmas content that I need to edit, which you guys will see very soon. I just really, really want to read. I haven't read anything in like 3 weeks. So not actually, I read these 100 pages, but I just like, I haven't finished a book in like 3-4 weeks. And I just really, since the week before Halloween, I haven't finished a book. So we're on like 3 weeks, and I really, really, really just want to sit down and read. I'm itching to. So we're going to sit down and read this. I don't know if I will check back in before I go to bed tonight. I don't even know how long I'm going to read for. Tomorrow, I'm going to allow myself just to read pretty much all day. My kid will be home in the morning, so I'll just sit down in the lounge room and read while he's here. And then he goes off to his dad's tomorrow at 2. So I will like read when he goes as well. I'm going to give myself that 4.5 hours that I have to just read in the peace and quiet. But yeah, I'm really excited to read Releasing 10. Let me get to better lighting. Okay, so the last clip you guys saw of me, I literally didn't read until like 2 days after that clip. I have been in a bit of a reading slump. I have to go back into the dark. So apologies for the lighting change, but I need to go get my glasses. I have been in a massive reading slump. I don't know why. I think part of the reason why I'm struggling to get through this book is because of the amount of backstory we're getting between Lizzie and Huey, but I also understand why it's necessary for Lizzie specifically. Like, I get it, which is why I'm pushing through, but I think it's not helping me get out of a reading slump. But I really want to finish this book because I really want to get this vlog up. So I need to pick up my child in about 45 minutes. Because it's summer, I can pick him up a little bit later at the moment. So I'm gonna set myself an alarm for an hour from now. That's 5:15. And I'm literally just gonna sit on the couch and read. Okay, I don't remember what page I was up to, but I'm now up to 324 up. So maybe I read about 100 pages, I feel like. I'm not sure. I think maybe I read about 100 pages, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, I'm up to 324 of Releasing 10. It's definitely getting better. We're definitely getting to the point where, like, you know, they're at Tommen now. Well, the boys are, the girls aren't yet, but we're definitely getting through it. I'm hoping that like from the halfway point is when we'll start getting like more like present day. Like I want to know more like about what happened. I don't know. So like a big chunk of this looks like it's in the 2000. That's 2002. I can't remember like the year like Claire and Gibbs's like ended off on, but like I want to see from then on, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I have a feeling, I mean, I have to go check Taming 7, but I have a feeling it's not like, we're not going to get a continuation on from like the big bombshell that happened at the end of Taming 7. And I'm like, after the like bombshell that was dropped at the end of Taming 7, that's what I want to know. Like, I want to know more of that. So that's kind of annoying me at the moment. Like, and I was just having like a little quick flip through just to see, you know, the years at the end. But like this is, okay, that's May 1995, 10 years later, so 2005. And that only is 2003. That really annoys me. I want to know what's happening in 2005 after this. That's what I want to know. That's really bothering me. I'm hoping we get more information and like it gets more. I just want to know I want to know what's happening with Lizzie and Huey at the same time as Taming 7, because there's so much going on with Lizzie and Huey in Taming 7 that I want to know. Like, I want to know, I want to see that, and we're not seeing that. And we've just hit 2002. I've only seen 2003 when I've done like a flip through. So I'm like, are we not gonna get anything? Like, that's really frustrating to me. I'm gonna be really annoyed if that's the case. And like, I'm gonna finish this book because I want to get through it. Like, I am loving the story of Lizzie and Huey, and you know, like I'm enjoying doesn't feel like the right word, but I am enjoying seeing like, you know, what's happening to Lizzie and why she is the way she is, and getting more of an understanding of her, and seeing how beautiful Huey is and what a great friend he is to everyone, but especially to Lizzie. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating me, and it's gonna really frustrate me if we don't get anything in 2005. So I just wanted to jump on here and quickly say, like, I've been in such a reading slump, and this book isn't getting me out of it just because we're getting so much of a backstory that it's kind of annoying me. So what I have done to try and help pull myself out of a reading slump, now I've finished 2 books. I got Heartstopper Volume 3 and 4 the other day while I was out, and graphic novels I can read really fast. Like, I think I've been reading for maybe 2 hours, if that, and I've read both of them, and both of them are like 400 or 500 pages long each. So I read these to just kind of like get that satisfaction of finishing a book, and I was only gonna read 3, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go and read 4 because I've got 4. So that's what I've read so far. Now I am gonna sit down and read this. I'm probably gonna sit here at my desk and read this for a little bit, just because I want to keep an eye on my computer and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, because it's still got 24 of them to do. Today and tomorrow I want to finish this book. I want this book finished so I can start editing Boys of Tommen, because next week, because I've barely read anything, like these are the first 2 books that I've read this month. Like, I've read nothing in the month of October. I've been reading this for like 3 weeks. So I obviously want to get through that. I want to obviously edit my Boys of Tommen video so I can get that up next week. Okay, so I wanted to check in with you guys just quickly before my child gets home. He should be home like within the next 10-15 minutes. And I haven't read quite 200 pages. I've read like 120 pages or something, I think. I can't remember what I started on, but I'm now on 468. Sorry, 468. Got that much left. I may end up finishing this book tonight. We shall see. I'm still having the same thing that like I feel like a lot of this stuff could have been skipped over. I understand why it is taking so long though, because obviously when she wrote the other books, she wrote her sister's death like while Lizzie was quite young when her sister died, so like I understand why it's taking so long and like why we're moving through things so slowly, but it's also still really frustrating. Like we're only in 2000. I think we're in August of 2000. Yeah, 2002 actually. We're in August of 2002, and I think Taming 7 was in 2005, I believe. Yeah, it just, I don't know why it's bothering me so much, but it really is. Like I just feel like a lot of this could have been condensed, or we could have had further time skips. I understand that like this is like Lizzie and Huey's relationship and like we're seeing all that, but like I feel like we could have had bigger time skips. We didn't need to have like just months, which is what we're getting. Like sometimes they'll be like 1 month, sometimes they'll be like 4 months and 5 months and 6 months, but like I still feel like there could have been more, if that makes sense. And that's something that's really bothering me. Good morning, everyone. So I did read last night. I can't remember what page I read up to last night, but I have like just over a quarter of the book left. So I read almost 200 pages, not quite, but almost. I think I read like 180, I want to say. So I was really happy with that. I was going to continue reading, but Secret Lives of Mormon Wives came out and I really wanted to watch that. So I went down that rabbit hole last night. I do have a nail appointment at 11. It's currently 7:09. I just dropped my child off to daycare. That's why I'm filming in the car, because people are also at home. So I was like, I'm going to do a little check-in in the car. But I do have a nail appointment, I think at 11. Let me double check. I have so many Instagram accounts. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so I have an appointment. I have a nail appointment today at 11. So I am intending to go home and read, but I do really want to watch because I stopped watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in the middle of an episode last night and it's very juicy. But I will be finishing Releasing 10 today. That's happening. Even if I stay up all night, I can sleep in tomorrow. My child was with his dad this weekend from this afternoon till Sunday. So I literally am planning on finishing Releasing 10, editing all of the footage that I have all weekend. Then next week, all I have to do is read and just edit the new stuff that I film, because I have a lot of Bookmas content that I still need to film, and I want to get that done ASAP. I also want to do tackling my TBR. So that's next week's video, or one of the videos from next week, which is in 2 weeks from now. So I want to read a lot of my TBR this week coming. That's the plan. I'm going to go home now, finish this episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and then maybe read. We'll see. Hello, everyone. So I am whispering because it is 11:17 at night, clearly, and I am outside, and I live in very new buildings, so all the houses are really close together, and everyone in my house is asleep, so trying to be quiet. Today is the 17th of November. Brimstone comes out tomorrow, but I had it pre-ordered through QBD Books, and I got the text today while I was up at my local shop where my QBD Books is, and I got a text saying that it was available for pickup. So I went and picked that up. So I really, really want to read that. So I'm determined to finish this before I go to bed tonight. I have under 100 pages left. We have this many pages left. Honestly, this book could have been 200 pages shorter. I feel really guilty saying that because of what's spoken about in this book, but it could have been way shorter than what it is. It didn't need to be this long. There was literally a part in which I was the book could have ended there. Considering where this book is going to end, it could have ended there. I would have been okay with that. So I don't want to DNF it because I want to continue on with the rest of the series as it comes out. So I'm not going to DNF it. I definitely want to finish it. We've got literally under 100 pages left. I think this is 730 pages long, and I'm up to 748. So I'm going to finish it. I should have this finished in the next hour or so, and then I'll go to bed. But yeah, I'm determined to finish this tonight because I don't want to be doing it, and you guys are going to be seeing this on Friday from today, so I don't want to be reading this book anymore. Let's get into my thoughts and opinions on all of them, and I'll give you a rating on all of them. First off, obviously we're starting with Binding 13. I really, really love this book. It's not my favorite in the series. I will tell you which one my favorite is in the series. You guys probably could guess from watching the video, but Binding 13 was really great. I think it was a really great first book for the series. I think we got a really nice introduction to all of the characters that we're kind of reading about / have read about. Obviously there's going to be a lot more books in the series. I think she said it's going to be like 12 books or something, so we're only halfway through, which is crazy. But I think we get a really nice introduction to most of the characters that the books are going to be about, and I just love, like, Johnny and Shannon are just absolutely my favorite pairing in the entire series as well. I just think that their story is so beautiful. Again, I have explained why this duet resonated so deeply with me in this video. I really, really love this book. This got like a 5. I think I've rated this one 5 stars. It was one of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given. At the start, I was a bit like meh, but the way that it ended and the emotional turmoil you went through in this book, it was definitely really good, and that's why I say it was one of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given a book. This, I don't remember having any spice in it. I don't even think it was alluded to in this. So this one I would say is more friendly for like a young adult audience, but still, like, the topics that are spoken about are so intense. So I would still say it's not good for a young adult audience. Then obviously next up was Keeping 13. This is my favorite book in the series. This is a 6-star read for me, specifically just this book. As you guys saw that Snapchat that book bestie got from me, he's not even book bestie, he's just bestie at this point. I was crying so hard while reading this book. I remember having a headache because my head, like, I just expelled so much water from my body crying over this book. And like, again, this was probably the easiest 5 stars I've ever given a book. I did mention this briefly in the video, which you guys would have heard already, which was, I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, it was a bit boring, like, you know, people are just, they're all just hanging out at each other's houses. But I think Shannon needed that. Like, she's never had that before, and I think it was really important for her to experience that and have that life, have a typical teenage life. I think that was really important, and I think it was very pertinent to her development as a character in this book. So I think that that was really, really amazing. I really loved seeing that. I loved seeing her go to her friends' houses and stand up for herself a little bit more in this book. It was something that I really, really loved about this book. This is my favorite book in the series. I absolutely love this. I'll actually do like a little bit of a ranking for you so you can see. This was definitely #1. This is the best book in the series. I would say if you decide not to read the Boys of Tommen series, just read the first 2. Like, you could easily read the first 2 and like not be missing anything. I still really love the rest of the series, but the first 2 just hit so hard. They're just done so beautifully. Then obviously book 3 is Saving 6, which is the first book in Joey and Aoife's story. Joey is Shannon's older brother. I really loved this book more than the next book that we're about to talk about. I think this was a better story of Joey and Aoife. You are getting a very, like, this is all like a past timeline. None of it is like current day. And when I say current day, I base current day off Binding and Keeping 13. That's present day for this series, kind of. Taming 7 kind of goes beyond that, but this is very much a past timeline. So you're getting like the first day they met, like Joey and Aoife met at school, to the last little like quarter of this, I want to say, is when Shannon is at Tommen College. And I think that getting the backstory we got for Joey and Aoife was really important, because as much as we got to know Joey and a little bit of Aoife in Binding and Keeping 13, it wasn't to the extent that this made more, it just made them make more sense, because we didn't get to see how they developed like Johnny and Shannon, but in this you do. So I think it was really important. I know this book gets a lot of slack. I think I ended up rating this one either a 4.75 or a 5-star. I can't remember. Upon thinking about it, I would probably rate this more like a 4.75 star, this particular one. Again, this one specifically and the next one, not YA at all. There is spicy scenes and they're explicit in this book and the next book, like very explicit. I understand why they are, because of the characters that are in them. Totally understand it, but it's definitely not YA at all. And we are talking so heavily about addiction in this that, again, it's not YA at all. But I just couldn't give them that 5-star. There was just something missing to give me that last little quarter of a star. Also, guys, I apologize. I'm still sick. I'm getting better, but like, I'm still sick. So please excuse the stuffy nose. It's driving me bonkers. Also, if I look a bit pink, I was just down at the beach today, so I definitely got a little bit sunburnt, but that's okay. It's not super bad. I'm just a bit pink. So please ignore that. Then obviously Redeeming 6 is the next one, which is book 4. Again, this is the second half of Joey and Aoife's story. This runs through like Shannon's first year of Tommen. So I think it starts, I really did enjoy this book. I really enjoyed seeing Joey go through what he was going through, not in terms of like the bad stuff he was going through, just the development of him in this book I really loved. I loved the like last couple of chapters. That I think one of the last chapters, yeah, in December 2005 was a Shannon chapter, an epilogue, and I really loved that. It was really beautiful to see and I really loved it. So I did really enjoy this book. I think I ended up rating this one a 4.5 star. I'll have to double check and I will put the ratings on the screen for you. But I think I rated this one a 4.5 star. Again, it was just missing that little something. And the next up is book 5, which is Taming 7. I did enjoy this book. However, I am really sad that we didn't get like as much compared to, like, this is the smallest book in the series. Apart from Saving 6, they're all like over 600 pages. And I mean, of this particular like print edition, like all of the, I don't even know where it is, I think it's behind me, but like binding, the UK, AU, and Z editions are shorter and thicker, like much thicker. But yeah, like I'm really upset that we didn't get as much of a story for them. Their story was very succinct and put together very well, but I still wish we had more like we did with everyone else. It would have been really nice. I do know that we are getting another book of Claire and Gibbsy eventually, but it would have been nice for like to have a bit more in the one book, if that makes sense. And then last but not least, or at least for now, is book 6, which is Releasing 10. This is a huge book. I think this is the biggest book in the series, and I honestly think this one could have been this size. I don't think that we needed this much. In saying that, I still enjoyed the book. I did enjoy seeing, like, getting more information about Lizzie specifically, but I just feel like it could have been shaved off by like 100 to 200 pages. I remember there being a part in the book, I can't remember where it was, but I remember it getting to a point where it was like the book could have ended there. And something that really bothered me about this, which I definitely said multiple times, was if we had had half this book be backstory and this half be from the end, like pick up from where this ended, I would have been over the moon. This probably would have got a 6-star rating from me, but we didn't. Like, I want to know what's happened after the end of Taming 7. Because of the stuff that was going on in Taming 7 with Lizzie and Huey, you just kind of have a feeling that a lot of stuff's going on behind the scenes, and I wanted to see that, and obviously I didn't get that. This book took me almost a month to read, and that's saying something. I think I was reading this for like 3 weeks, which is saying something. I have read most of the Boys of Tommen books in like 2-3 days, actually sitting down to read. I think I at one point was reading like 10 pages of this a day and just could not be bothered. I was really struggling to pick it up. So I didn't hate this book. I know I'm speaking really negatively about it. I really didn't hate this book. I feel bad giving it a rating because of what's spoken about in this book. However, if I did have to rate it, like being subjective and giving it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 4.25 star. It's still a good book, but I just think it could have been shorter. I think that the story was really good and all that. I just think, yeah, it could have been a little bit shorter. It could have been delivered a little bit more succinctly. Even though I think I started reading it in June or July and it's now November and I've just finished it. So anywho, I'm still glad that I got to it and got it done and finished it off and read those books, because Binding and Keeping 13 have really changed my life. That is the end of today's video. I am so sorry that it's been such a long one, but I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you do want any of the Boys of Tommen series annotated by me, I have annotated all of them on my Etsy shop, so I will link that on the screen as well as in the description box below. It's Commentary Corner is my shop name on Etsy. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell. We have Bookmas coming up in literally a week, which is crazy. I am going to be so busy this week just filming and editing Bookmas content. I'm literally filming a Bookmas video now. If you don't follow me already on TikTok and Instagram, make sure you head over there and follow me over there. They'll be linked on the screen as well as in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Mwah.